You ever sit at a restaurant table set for 10 and realize you're the only one who's coming? Yeah, that was my 34th birthday. And that was the moment I decided I was done being my family's personal ATM. My name's Nathan. I'm the kind of guy people describe as the reliable one, which is code for the one everyone calls when their rent's late, their car won't start, or their Netflix account mysteriously gets logged out. I've never been the favorite, not in my family, not even close. That title bounces between my drama magnet cousin Tasha, my freeloading brother Owen, or whichever relative is most chaotic that month. Me? I'm the wallpaper. Quiet. Functional. Forgettable. For years I told myself that was okay. I believed support should be unconditional. I showed up for every baby shower, every last-minute emergency, every family reunion I was barely invited to. I picked up the tab more times than I can count. And slowly, almost invisibly, I slipped from being a family member to being infrastructure, something they relied on but never acknowledged, like a Wi-Fi signal or plumbing. The worst part? I didn't even see it happening until my birthday. It started simple. 2 weeks before, I sent a message to the family group chat. Hey, I'm planning to reserve a table at Amici's for my birthday next Friday. Nothing fancy, just dinner. I'll cover the bill. It wasn't unusual that I offered to pay. In fact, it would have been weird if I didn't. Somewhere along the way, they'd stopped even pretending to split checks. But still, I wanted one night. One simple evening where I wasn't the helper. Just a brother, a son, a cousin. Responses trickled in. A thumbs-up emoji from Tasha. A non-committal, I'll try to be there, from my mom, which was her classic translation for, I won't, but I don't want to argue. My Uncle Ron responded with a gif of a thumbs-up that felt even lazier than a regular one. But I held out hope. I told the hostess we'd be at least 10 people, maybe 12. She smiled politely, the way servers do when they know you're about to be stood up. At 6 p.m. sharp, I arrived. Shirt ironed. Table reserved. I was even a little early, something I've never stopped doing, even though no one ever arrives on time. By 6:15, I was still alone. The waiter had brought me water and asked if I wanted to order or wait. Then my phone buzzed. Owen, hey man, something came up. We'll celebrate another time. I frowned. No apology. No details. Just a vague brush-off. 2 minutes later, another message came in. Mom, something came up. We'll celebrate another time. My stomach dropped. Then Uncle Ron. Then Tasha. Same wording. Word. For. Word. Copy-pasted like I wouldn't notice. Like I didn't matter enough to even lie to individually. I didn't leave. I couldn't. Not right away. I sat there, stared at the empty chairs, ordered a plate of spaghetti I didn't want, and ate it like it was a chore. I tipped well, waved goodbye to the hostess who gave me that sad smile waitstaff reserved for jilted parties. Then I walked out, alone, into the quiet parking lot. And that's when it happened. I sat in my car, engine idling, scrolling through Instagram out of habit, and there it was. Tasha's story. A boomerang video of her holding a party hat over her dog. The caption? Happy Barkday Nibbles Paw Prints Party Popper. My mom was in the background, smiling with a slice of cake. Owen was tying a ribbon around the dog's collar. Ron had a champagne flute in hand. They were all there. Not for me. For the dog. For Nibbles. And that was the moment something inside me didn't snap, it froze. Still. Numb. Solid. Because I realized I hadn't just been forgotten. I'd been excluded. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even call anyone. I just sat in the car, listening to the quiet hum of the engine, realizing the people I loved had quietly replaced me with a French bulldog. I drove home in silence. No music. No thoughts. Just this icy sort of clarity settling over me. The next thing I remember is sitting on my couch, opening my banking app. My thumb hovered over a few buttons. Then, slowly, methodically, I started shutting everything down. First was the rent transfer I'd been auto-sending to my mom's account every month. She hadn't paid for her place in over a year. I covered it when her temporary situation stretched past month 6. I hit cancel recurring payment. Next was Owen's car loan. I'd co-signed for his second-hand Audi because he was turning things around. That was 6 months ago. He quit that job 3 weeks in. He's been driving my good credit ever since. I stopped the payment, texted myself a reminder to pick up the spare key. Then came the utilities. Electricity, water, gas, all under my name, all set up for their homes, just for a little while during various crises. Crises that never ended. I logged in, opened the dashboard, and scheduled shutoffs. Effective tomorrow morning. By the time I finished, it was past midnight. I stood in my living room with the key to Owen's car in my palm, and I made a decision. No more warnings. No more second chances. No more invisible sun. The next day, the group chat exploded. Tasha, hey Nate, is something wrong with the internet? Can't connect. Mom, the electric company must have made a mistake. The power's out. Can you check your bank? Owen, bro, what's going on? Nibble's party was last minute. You're overreacting. Overreacting. That word hit harder than I expected. Not because I hadn't heard it before, but because it was always their favorite weapon. I'd heard it my whole life. When I got upset that Owen stole money from my wallet. You're overreacting. When Tasha borrowed my credit card and maxed it out on a concert trip. You're overreacting. When Mom forgot my college graduation. You're being dramatic. It wasn't overreacting. It was finally reacting. Later that night, I saw my mom post on Facebook. Some people will punish you just for not being available on their schedule. Remember, family isn't conditional. For likes. One comment from Aunt Rhonda. Maybe if you appreciated him, he'd still pick up the phone. I didn't reply. Instead, I made a list. Not out of spite. Not out of anger. Out of a need to finally, surgically separate myself. I listed every bill in my name. Every streaming service they used on my dime. Every subscription, insurance policy, warranty, and shared account that they treated as theirs. Then I started closing them. One by one. I didn't send a single message. I didn't justify a single decision. I just let the silence speak. And that silence? It was loud. By day 3, the voicemail started. Owen's first one began with, "Look, man." That's how all guilt trips begin. He talked for 4 minutes straight about how I always made him feel small by being the responsible one. How I used my success to make them feel like crap. Then came Mom. 2 voicemails. First, syrupy sweet. "Nathan, honey, this isn't you. We all love you. Please don't do this." Second, cold and clipped. "I don't know what kind of grudge you're holding, but punishing your own mother? That's a new low." A new low? As if they hadn't just ditched me for a dog. As if I hadn't been the human scaffolding keeping them afloat for years. That's when I realized something. They didn't love me. They loved what I gave them. Money. Stability. Access. A free therapist. A walking, talking safety net. So, I decided to show them what life looked like without me. People don't realize how much power you have until you take it back. That week, I didn't just walk away from my family. I dismantled the illusion they had built around me. Let's talk about the car. Owen's Audi, the one I co-signed for, insured, and serviced more times than he even washed it. I didn't take it right away. I let him cruise around for a few more days, playing pretend with the freedom he didn't earn. Then, on a quiet Saturday night, I parked down the block, walked to his driveway like I owned the place, because legally, part of me did, unlocked the car with the spare key, and drove off. It wasn't even locked. On his windshield, I left a sticky note that said, "Since I'm just a wallet to you, consider this a budget cut." That was the night things changed. Because by Monday, the panic shifted from confusion to desperation. My phone, though I never answered it, lit up like Times Square. Voicemails, emails, texts from unknown numbers. Even one from my brother's girlfriend that read, "You deserve better, babe." He's always been judgmental. Better than what? Better than a brother who paid your phone bill, your gas, and your emergency vet visit when your cat ate a piece of foil? I started getting tagged in vague, pity-driven Facebook statuses. Owen posted, "Family should be about loyalty. But I guess some people think money makes them better." No tags, of course. Cowards don't tag. But the subtext was neon bright. His friends commented with praying hands emojis. One even wrote, "Keep your circle small, King." I almost laughed. Almost. But I wasn't done. The house my mother lived in? That was mine. Bought it 5 years ago with my first serious freelance win. Let her move in just for a while when her condo flooded. We never even drafted a rental agreement. So I drafted one now. I emailed it to the property management firm I hired the same day. Effective immediately, tenant must begin paying market rate rent or vacate within 30 days. I didn't send it directly to her. Didn't need to. She found out within 48 hours, judging by the furious email I received with the subject line. "Wow. Really?" "Yes, Mom. Really. You ghosted me on my birthday to feed cake to a dog." I think really is an appropriate response. The backlash hit fast. I was called cruel, heartless, overreacting. The same words I'd been trained to fear. But something was different now. They weren't landing. Because when you stop feeling guilty, their entire power structure collapses. They don't know what to do with a version of you that doesn't apologize for breathing. Then came the envelope. Thick. No return address. Just my name in familiar cursive. Inside was a letter, handwritten, 2 full pages, and a faded photo of me on my 5th birthday. I was smiling, sitting in front of a cake. My mother stood behind me with her hands on my shoulders. Picture perfect. But I remembered that day. Owen had knocked my cake off the table after I got a better gift. I ended that birthday crying in my room while my mom told me, "You need to be more understanding. He's younger." The letter said, "I don't know when you became this cold, Nathan. I miss my son." It went on. About sacrifice. About how hard things were. About how I was always the strong one, and how we leaned on you because you never broke. That line hit different. I didn't help because I was strong. I helped because I thought I had to. Because I thought love was something you earned by being useful, by being quiet, by not taking up space. She ended with, "I hope you find your way back to this family before it's too late. We still love you, even if you've forgotten how to love us back." It was a guilt grenade, weaponized nostalgia, and for a second, I felt it working. Then I looked at the photo again, and remembered the screaming, the broken cake, the way my feelings had always been painted as overreactions. I slid the letter and photo into a box, drove to her porch, and left them there. No note, just silence. Returned to cinder. But silence didn't last long. Because desperate people? They don't stay quiet. When people are used to you being the safety net, your silence doesn't just scare them, it exposes them. And when they can't manipulate you anymore, they try to break you. They couldn't reach me through texts. They couldn't guilt me with voicemails. So they sent in a proxy. It happened on a Thursday at my usual lunch spot. A cozy cafe I went to every week, same corner table, same sandwich. I was reading when I heard a voice from behind me. "Still playing the intellectual, huh?" I looked up and instantly regretted it. Uncle Darren, the family's designated emotional hitman. Loud, pushy, always crawling out of the woodwork when things get messy. He pulled out the chair across from me like he owned it. "Your mom's been a wreck. Your brother's crashing on my couch. What are you doing, Nate?" Making a point. I didn't speak. Just sipped my coffee. "You've made it. We get it. Big man now. But this? You're hurting people who love you. Love me?" These were the same people who abandoned me on my birthday, who coordinated a lie so lazy they didn't even personalize the excuse. I leaned forward. "You came here to make me feel guilty. So just say what you came to say and go." He bristled. "Fine. I came because you're acting like a child. This family isn't perfect, but they were there for you." "No," I said calmly. "I was there for them. For years. Rent, bills, therapy, breakdowns, you name it. And when I asked for one dinner, they fed cake to a dog." His eyes flickered. He had nothing. So he tried a last jab. "You're gonna end up alone, Nate." I smiled. "No, Darren. I'm already free." He left in a huff, knocking over the cream tray on his way out. I returned to my sandwich like nothing happened. Because by then, I was no longer playing defense. I was executing the final cut. I logged into my financial software, the one I used to manage consulting clients, and pulled up the folder titled Family Support. Subfolders. Mom, Utilities. Owen, Auto Loan. Tasha, Pet Emergencies. Shared Streaming, all accounts. I deleted it. The whole thing. Not just the funds. The infrastructure they'd built on my back. But the final move? That came quietly. I sold the duplex. The one my mom had been living in temporarily. I didn't evict her. I sold the property to a developer who'd been buying out the street for years. I got a great offer. Closed it fast. She got the notice from the new owners within 2 weeks. And then came the final voicemail. "So that's it? You're cutting me off like I'm nothing? Over a birthday dinner? You sold my home." She didn't say she was sorry. She didn't say she was wrong. She said I betrayed her. Because in her eyes, I was the villain. Not the silent support system. Not the good son. Just the traitor who dared choose himself. I let the voicemail sit. I didn't reply. Instead, I filed to separate every legal tie I had with him. Removed Owen as a beneficiary on my life insurance. Closed joint accounts. Changed my number. Moved to a gated apartment. Gave my new contact to only 3 people. My best friend, my boss, and my therapist. They couldn't find me anymore. Not easily. And they didn't take it well. Tasha started posting vague Instagram stories about toxic relatives who think success makes them superior. One post featured her dog looking sad with the caption, "He misses his Uncle Nate broken heart." I almost laughed. Owen tried going through mutual friends. My mom started mailing letters again. Weekly. Handwritten. Laced with sweet poison. "I miss the real you. You were always the strong one. Remember who was there for you." They never said, "I'm sorry." They just tried to pull me back. But it was too late. For the first time in my adult life, I had peace. I joined a gym. Started writing again. Even began volunteering for a nonprofit that helped young adults aging out of foster care, kids who, like me, were taught that love had to be earned with silence and sacrifice. I never told them why I was so good with budgeting. Didn't need to. Months passed. Then one day, I saw Owen. He was outside a strip mall, talking loudly on the phone. He looked thinner, exhausted. He saw me, paused. "Hey," he said, quietly. I didn't reply. "You're really gone." I nodded once. He looked down. "Mom still checks the mailbox. Still hopes you'll write." I met his eyes. She already got everything I had to give. He didn't argue, just nodded, and walked away. And that was the end. No tearful reunion. No Facebook apology. No redemption arc. Just me, living my life, surrounded not by family, but by peace. On my next birthday, I sat in my new apartment, eating takeout I actually liked. I got 3 video calls from people who didn't want anything from me, except to share a laugh and say happy birthday. No guilt. No performance. Just love. And that, my friends, was the best gift I've ever received.